Welcome back to Project Rebirth. This is part 2 of our two-part Two-Face review. And today we're going to look at the Greg Capullo DC Comics Designer Series Two-Face. Here's a look at the front of the box. The left side of the box, the right side, and here's a look at the back of the box. And it shows the other figures in this series that you can collect, specifically Batman Zero Year, Commissioner Gordon, and Batgirl. Alright, let's get Two-Face out of the box. Taking a look at inner packaging, we can see the figure comes with 2 handguns. And here's a look at the artwork within the inner packaging. Here's the figure out of the box, and the figure looks great. The facial details are downright scary. It's really cool. However, there's some annoying features. The first initial impression I have is, why did they give 2 guns? Because if you look at it's on the left-hand side of the screen, but his right hand, and it's really cool. He has a coin in there, getting ready to do his famous coin toss, but that's permanently in the hand, and even if it was removable, if you look at the shape of the hand, you would never fit a gun in there. So essentially he only has one hand free for use with the firearm. The other annoying thing is this hand does not have a trigger finger, and this gun almost seems too small, and when you put it in there, that's very loose. So the only way it stays securely is if you kind of put it off to the side like that, which of course would look weird for, I guess that looks somewhat okay, but to have it straight the way it naturally would be, that gun is extremely loose in the hand. So that's a bit of a disappointment. I wanted to show you guys that I swapped out the puny gun that didn't fit with the gun from this Joker from The Dark Knight Returns. And if you take a look at the gun in his hand now, number one, I can turn it upside down. I can shake the figure. That gun is not going anywhere. See if I can get it to focus. But it looks a lot better. And you certainly can, if you had this on a shelf and maybe the figure's going to get bumped, you won't have to worry about that gun going flying and losing the gun. It's a much better fit. So for the photo montage at the end, some of the pictures will feature the old gun and some this new gun. Let's take a 360 look at Two-Face. Alright, let's take a look at articulation. The figure's head can rotate 360. And the arms can rotate around this way at the shoulders, but they do not extend out that way or outward at the shoulder. Arms can bend at the elbow to 90 degrees and rotate at the elbow. Figure's wrists rotate, and the waist can rotate from side to side. Figure's legs can extend, but not very far at all. And bend at the knee, which is actually lower than the knee should appear naturally in the leg. And the figure's feet can move a little bit from side to side at the ankle. Let's take a look at Two-Face alongside some other action figures. Here he is with my Impossible to Stand Without a Stand DC Essentials Joker. With Mattel's Multiverse Justice League Batman. With the Dark Knight Returns Batman. With the Arkham Origins Batman. With the Batman Missions Two-Face. With the Batman Missions Riddler. With the more traditional Riddler. with the Penguin, with the Batman Missions Bane, with Catwoman, and with the Batman Missions Robin. Alright, so here's my final thoughts with regard to DC Comics designer series Greg Capullo's Two-Face. Overall, this figure is really, really striking looking. And I'm going to bring this up close. I mean, just look at that detail in the face and the skin that's hanging over the damaged eye. I mean, this is really, truly the stuff of nightmares. And they did an outstanding job on that. And actually here, take a look at the hand up close. So they, took the time to make that hand look damaged as well with a lot of really good detail. So that's a really unique and good positive. And here's a look, at the top of the coin. There's not only just a circle there, but it's got, an X through it. It's the damaged coin face. So a lot of fine attention to details there. So I'm really puzzled as to how they can put such fine detail into the artwork, but then the design and execution is so flawed. And specifically, I'm referring to number one, the fact, as I mentioned, that the figure comes with two guns and only one hand capable of holding a gun. And that easily could have been remedied by making this hand removable and putting in a gun hand there. And then you could have Two-Face in a classic, two-gun shooting pose. And that would have been really cool. Or just don't provide the second gun. And on the subject of guns, I would have far rather had one gun that works properly than two puny guns that fall right out of the figure's hand. And I can't tell you, but I think it would estimate in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 times that stupid puny little gun fell out of his hands during the course of shooting this video and trying to pose the figure for the photographs at the end of the video. And it was insanely frustrating. If I had this figure on a shelf or display, I'd really be afraid that if the figure got, even just the slightest bumped, that gun would go flying and would be lost, potentially lost, which may be the reason why they give you a second one, is they know you're going to lose the first one when it falls out of the figure's hands. I don't know. But because of those flaws, I can't give this figure an enthusiastic hell yes. But flip side of the coin, as they'd say, I'm not disappointed I bought this figure either. I really, really do like it, and I'm glad I purchased it. So I do recommend it, but not as enthusiastic as it would have been if there weren't those problem issues. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Project Rebirth review.
Safe for all your sound.